Welcome back, Mr. Goodberry. The First Star Logistics studio is fully equipped and ready to record.
Welcome back to Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. I'm your host, Joe Goodberry. We plan on continuing our defensive tackle film review series as we prepare for the NFL draft. We've got time, but we start early so we can get to as many players as we can. I don't plan on getting to a ton of defensive tackles. We've done 3 of the top 4 so far. We plan on getting to, depending on whose list you look at, whether it's Daniel Jeremiah's top 50 or consensus rankings, whatever you may use to prepare for the draft. There could be 6 to 8 defensive tackles considered to be where the Bengals pick between first and second round. And that's the key to how far I want to go with this, because the Bengals drafted 2 defensive tackles last year with premium picks in the second and third round, but they still lack, and they didn't draft, a defensive tackle number 1, a guy that's a game wrecker, a stud inside. So that's what we're looking for here. We're not looking for, here's another Chris Jenkins. No, we want somebody that could maybe be a little bit better than that. Maybe be a little more disruptive as a run defender or a pass rusher, a little bigger, a little more athletic, whatever it may be. So we're only going to look at the top 6 to 8 guys, first, second round caliber defensive tackles to start this process. And we already looked at a few. And there's already a couple guys, Harmon and Walter Nolan, that I would love to have for the Bengals. This next guy, though, is the biggest, and a guy I just watched all week during the Senior Bowl and was very intrigued by what his upside could be, and that's Kentucky's Deone Walker. Starting with the positives, 6'7", 340 pounds, an 84.5-inch wingspan. He's a giant. You don't find guys that big. In fact, teams are probably going to overvalue him because he's that big, because who wouldn't love somebody that could clog up the middle of the defense as much as he can? But the positive side also was that he was getting off the snap insanely fast. I went back and I watched every single snap of Senior Bowl practices. I have the film, I slow it down, and I want to see who's the fastest guy off the ball. And very routinely, and I posted a lot of these on my Twitter account at Joe Goodberry, very routinely, Deone Walker was the fastest guy off the ball. Imagine that. Imagine you're an interior lineman, and there's a guy in this Senior Bowl game that's 5'10", 270 as an interior lineman, Willie Lampkin, North Carolina. Fantastic. Pound for pound, one of the best blockers I've ever seen in my life as a prospect. But this dude's 6'7", 340, and he's getting off the snap fast and low. Man, that's a load to try and block. And so I said, okay, what are the issues with Deone Walker then? And I think they showed up during the week's practices. Number one, because he's so tall. He plays with absolutely no leverage at all. I know I said he gets off fast and low, but instantly he's up. And all 6'7" of him is standing straight up. And he's given himself such a big target to be controlled, losing the leverage battle instantly. And then his effort at times waned. And I hear that's very similar to what I may see on tape here, although I haven't watched him at Kentucky. And when we have 2 games lined up here, I want to see how much of that is true. How much of the upside is there? The big guy that can get off the ball fast versus the guy who plays with poor leverage, and that may never change because he's 6'7". As a tall person, you get yelled at by your coaches for the rest of your life, your whole life, because you're so tall and you won't play low. It's hard. But on the other half, if I can get the good parts to perform consistently, that's a rare player. So we've got 2 games here. We've got Ole Miss, where PFF says he has 2 sacks. So let's see this big dude with 2 sacks. Then we have the Florida game, where PFF says it wasn't a great game and he played a lot of nose tackle, which is more than likely what he will do in the NFL. So 2 games here lined up. Let's see. Deone Walker, Kentucky, starting with Ole Miss. Okay, Deone Walker, the big man right in the middle here. I think it's number 0, if I remember correctly. I looked at it earlier. Versus Ole Miss, which we are going to end up watching a lot of Ole Miss after the Senior Bowl. Their entire defensive line was there. We may end up going back to that. We see him here instantly playing without leverage, and I think the side angle is really going to show this more than the end zone angle. As you can see pretty quickly, right? Walker is all 6'7" of them standing straight up. You'd like it to have a little hump in your back at the very least. You'd like it if these guys were coming in low underneath the pads and the arm, but he's 6'7". I can't knock him too much for it, but it will affect his game. And we'll see that, I think, pretty routinely here. As he's trying, like I said, everything high moves, arm over, swims. He should be able to bat a lot of balls, I would assume. And he looks like he's trying to get in the quarterback's face. I believe that is Jackson Dart, who's also at the Senior Bowl this week at quarterback for Ole Miss. There we go. Trying to get in the passing lane. Working as a D end here. Interesting for him. So we got 3 down linemen for Kentucky. One here, one there, one there. I don't know if he's going around the outside here or if he's going to work this guy and go back in, but he's working against the D end for sure on our right side, or against the tackle. He's working as a D end on the right side. So he stems out and then he's going to work back in. Looks like his hands missed there, but he's still going to try and get into the passing lane and get his hands up. Ball's still completed. So far, no effort issues on either one of these. I think he's still trying to battle. It's early in the game. See, there we go. There's our first glimpse of what I said. He gets off the ball very quick. So it's good to see it in a game as well. He's not just jumping the Senior Bowl practices where it seemed like they were going off one every single time. You can see here, he's getting off fast, right? He's there before anyone. And that for a 6'7" guy, relatively low. I'm assuming this guard is also not 6'7", just based on averages, and his helmet is matching. So for Deone Walker, he's getting off pretty low there. Now let's see what he does with it. Not much. Can I go back and let's see again here? Without the recording being choppy. Yeah, he's getting double teamed. Really not affecting that guard at all. The guard doesn't look too stressed out about it. He does have inside help, again, right here in the middle. Yeah, just so much of a target for you to get your hands on as an offensive lineman when a guy's that big. Very opposite of Walter Nolan, who really doesn't give you a target, right? If you watch Walter Nolan again and go back to it and how he's flipping his shoulders and getting real skinny in the hole. And as he's slipping by people, he's not giving you much to block. Deone Walker threw a few snaps here. Much different as he's trying to squeeze through, but he's just such a big guy. I'd like to see some run defense. I'd like to see them try and run on him because he's not moving there. Even on that, looks like a potential RPO. So the linemen are trying to block him, trying to run block him. There we go. Swim move one way, swim move the other way. Can you close the pocket? Wide open guy. Was Kentucky's defense terrible after one drive? I'm sure we got some Kentucky fans in here that are Bengals fans crossing over because a lot of people told me to watch Deone Walker. All right, we should get some goal line situations we've seen with all these defensive tackles we've watched so far. We definitely want to see this. Kentucky's not ready. They're not getting down there. Ole Miss is snapping the ball already. And it's an easy touchdown. These guys aren't even ready to go. I mean, we saw Walker on the previous play walking, no pun intended, back to the huddle. I wonder if Ole Miss ran down there and Kentucky did not. And you still got to run the play out. I don't want to assume anything, though, that he's maybe not a high effort player, even though this is what I've heard, and that the effort waned in practices as well. Oh, there's a nice, clean win. There we go. That's why I don't want to assume anything. Is he right at the nose here? It looks like it. We are going to absolutely slap this guy. Oh, he gets up against the guard. Perfect. I want to see that because I like when a guy has to get all the way across another gap. Shows some level of athleticism, so he's going to win this way. And as this guy tries to fill in the gap a little bit, it leaves him right for just absolutely launching him out of the way. So let's watch it again here. Deone Walker in the middle. Yes. Slight concussion with a hammer to the head. And turn that corner, and he put the pressure on him. Yeah, he's not a freak athlete, right? So he's not instant. That's not an instant sack, but you killed that play. That's a great rep for Deone Walker. There, we're staying low. Hey, we're staying low enough there. He is hard to move because of it. If you can get him to stay that low every time, look, he's below this double team, right? His helmet's at least even, if not lower than theirs, making it hard on them for sure. And it looks like they got a pretty short right guard. There's another win. There's another one. We're starting to stack wins for Deone Walker. There we go. This one may have counted as his first sack here. He's lined up at this spot outside of the guard. Instantly, that hand, I have to assume it looks like it, that this hand is underneath that guy's arm and is about to lift it and absolutely move him. And the way this other hand is here, it looks like he's pulling down with this one, lifting up with this one. That's going to open the gate for you to run the outside. Oh, yeah. Pinballed off the tackle. The center did enough to just drive him around the outside. That's a really nice win for Deone Walker. You see the center there, can't even move him. Can't even budge him. That's the length I was talking about. That really helps Deone Walker look good at times. If you can't get inside of him, and right there, can you see where I'm at here with the centers right here, Deone Walker's right here? Watch the distance only grow between them because Walker's just going to lock him out with his super long arms. You see that? Like, you can't even get inside. You can't even touch him. Again, he is really stressing that center out. I talked about this. If you can stress your opponent, it is a good sign. He's shaded right here, just off the shoulder of the center. I mean, his hand usage there is great because he is lifting and absolutely getting leverage here. And we talk about leverage being an issue. When you get your hands, perfect, stop. When you get your hands underneath that guy's arm and you lift his arm up, there's nothing that lineman can do to you. That's a great play. I think the quarterback felt it instantly that Walker was stressing out his guy. And there's hey, we got a little stunt, looks like. Flushing the quarterback instantly. Kentucky's starting to get some wins on this defensive line here, especially as a pass rush. Walker on the left side. He's going to loop back in, and you've got a free rush at the quarterback. You don't think this quarterback's looking at him? He just stared him dead in the eyes and pooped himself. Get out of there. You don't want that guy barreling down on you. Just holding the pocket there. We got a little bit of a twist. But once you get here and you've got so much space, you're not going to close that more than likely. Just try and keep the quarterback in the pocket if you can. Maybe get your hands up on a shorter pass, knock it down. Screen, he noticed it right away. There we go, Walker. I'd like to see the vision, the intelligence. This all pops up for you. This is good. See how early he recognizes the screen. Right now, he's like, okay, what is this? Back to the middle screen? What are we running here? Where is the screen supposed to be? All these linemen are releasing downfield, but I don't see the target. Couple punches, spying and mirroring the quarterback. Heavyweight battle right here. Walker to our left. Swipes the hand away, the punch to the face. 2 punches to the face maybe from the offensive lineman. And then he's going to try and get underneath. And there we go. That's what I was looking for. So just push him off a little bit. Stay with the quarterback. Don't let that guy leave. Right? We said this when we watched Kenneth Grant tape. Excuse me. That there were times I didn't feel like he could even mirror the quarterback and keep them in the pocket. And his teammate didn't do a good job of doing that. Deone Walker had his spot on his side. Started low, got high. Still watching leverage. Double team here. They're not going to be able to move him. The run's going away. We haven't seen him on the ground yet. We haven't seen him make a tackle yet either. There's an arm over, and I can't believe that wasn't a hold. Good job ripping that ball up. Where's Walker? Okay, he looks like he's on this side. Looks like he's going to try and go in here with an arm over, if I remember. Yes. And you beat him with it. I mean, that's a win. You knock that guy down, you get him to lunge, get that arm over the top. If you were just a little quicker, you probably can get closer to the quarterback and really stress that guard out and really make it look like a hold. Just trying to push the pocket here is a big guy from the left defensive tackle spot. They're only rushing 3. No, they did 4. There was the other guy. First and 15 now. Dealing with the double team now. Get out there. The quarterback's running. Someone's got to step up. All right. Holding to a 5-yard gain. Let's watch Walker again here. He's in the middle at nose. Tries to split the 2. What happened to this other rusher? You guys see this? Is it this guy coming across? Let's watch this end real fast. No, it's not him. It's this guy. It's the other D tackle. I'm sorry, we're getting distracted here, but I want to see. Watch this guy. Keep your eyes on him while we let it play. He must have got hit in the face. He's grabbing his face the entire time, and he's running with his face. Okay, I think he's just trying to show he got hit in the face, not that there was something wrong. But the way he ran away like this, I thought something was really wrong. And we got another pass rush. Maybe a pass rush win. I think it's a pass rush win. Let's watch this again. Is that Walker standing up? It looks like it. Yes, again. His hands are landing, guys. This is huge for his evaluation. He is lifting that arm right out of there. If he was just a little more athletic, that hand usage is really good. Still, he's causing chaos as a big dude. That's more than Kenneth Grant was doing, right? As a pass rusher, so far already, Deone Walker is a better pass rusher than Kenneth Grant. No doubt. Looks like Kentucky really got the missed tackle. Really got the defense in order, I was going to say, and then we got a missed tackle, big run. All right. Walker in the middle here. Take on the double team, and he's going to get around. He has got this running back dead to rights in the hole. And we just miss. That big wingspan, you got to get around him. Push that pocket, swim over the center. Man. He's looking for the flag. He's not going to get it. We've got another pass rush win for Deone Walker here. That's a lot so far, to be honest with you. What do we have? 4 at least? He's going to work all the way across. Looks like they're bringing 9 behind him. So go through the center, and I can already see he's being held. I can see his jersey right there being held. And that arm over move after that center is leaning on you like that. If the center is leaning on you, and we saw this just with the right guard when you hit him with the arm over move. Arm over pretty much every time so far. We've seen one bull rush. But when the center is leaning on you like that, that's a sign that you are stressing him out. It's taking his full forward force, the 3 Fs, in order to block you. And that's when the arm over works. Now, if I can get you to stay on your feet, not look for the flag, maybe we can stop the quarterback from running a little bit more. But I like the win. And so far, we've said this now maybe 3 or 4 times. He is causing chaos. You need chaos creators at defensive tackle. You can't just have guys that play their position. It was a big issue with the Bengals defense last year. Not enough playmakers. You had Trey Hendrickson, but no one else is out there making plays. Deone Walker also with a quick win here on the RPO. It looks like he's right here to the right. Yep, just slips that right guard or left guard. Not so much a win. I think the guy knows the ball's coming out. Okay, hold on to double team. Stay low. He does there. He looks like he's getting tired. Left side, 5 tech. You know who's big like that? What was his name? Red Bryant? Seahawks. There's another win. There's another hand win, it looks like. Walker, no gloves either. He's a nut. I can never not wear gloves. That'd be face mask hitting your knuckles. It's the worst. All right. Walker. Yes, again. So we're going with a rip to the outside. You definitely stressed out 71, and then they pulled over the other lineman. So run was away from you anyways, but I like seeing these little micro wins here. Again, he's gaining leverage on 71 again. Leverage and positioning. He is beating these guys. These are starting to happen at a rapid rate. For those of you that told me to watch them, I went in thinking we were going to see a lazy kind of nose tackle that's just bigger than everyone. There we go. There we go. There's a little hit. I don't know what he's shaking his head about before the play. There we go. Right in the middle. Big number 0. And we're not getting the laziness so far. I mean, we're getting some. He's big, but so far he's winning at a pretty good clip here. I mean, again, he's lifting the center, throwing him to the side. You better put another guy on him. Instantly, the quarterback's dropping his eyes, dropping his knees, dropping the ball. The ball's dropped down here because he's like, damn, this mammoth man is beating my center again. We can't do this. And yet Walker gets, now let's see. Now a lazy player would not keep working towards the ball here, right? Let's see. He does not. And he gets in on the hit. So far, it's third quarter, and Deone Walker's winning. And again, low leverage hands. Watch him get off this ball. He's off the ball pretty quickly, right? Faster than the guy to the right of him. Stay low. Look at that. Hands striking to the middle of the chest. Eyes already visioned inside. And it's an RPO play. But he gave 0 ground there to this Ole Miss offensive line. Let's watch it again. Yeah, he's going low. Double team, dropping that knee, torquing and twisting those hips. Gave up nothing. Deone Walker, good rep for a play that will not show up on the stat sheet because the ball's going the other way. Again, low, striking, getting off the ball fast. Again, this is good leverage. This is good body positioning. He's hitting the middle of the chest. He's controlling the center again. Now the run's going that way, and he's peeking to the left. He's got help to the right, so I don't think he's too worried about it, but he's going to start. I've tried to show my son this all the time. He will lose this position battle right here where the guy is inside, the run's going that way. And I say, just drive the guard through the running back. Put the lineman's butt into the running back when he goes by you, at the very least. And look at Walker here. It looks like he's got that arm extended into the chest of this lineman, and it looks like he's pushing him into the path of the running back. Let's see it from the side angle, see how much he actually does, is able to impact that. Right in the middle here. Good leverage, gets the hit from the guard, of course. And now this is what I'm talking about. He's got the positioning. He's going to try and drive back through that center. And he does. He does push that center into there a little bit. And it's a modest gain. So sometimes that's all you can do from that spot. There's another win. And we got a pressure on the quarterback and a wide open receiver. I want to see the route here. Oh, yeah. Oh, he got him. I love watching wide receivers and corners. I know I always start with trenches. Inside, got this corner to break, turn it outside. He falls. Bang. Big play. That's a great route. Really great route. Let's watch Deone Walker back now here. Looks like he gets another win. Yes. So you get the guy going left and right, left and right. You can see how off balance Walker is. Somehow his arm is actually wrapped behind his back. How does this happen? So a little bit wild, especially with those long arms. You can't be running like an inflatable balloon man at a car dealership. But he still gets in the quarterback's face. I'm impressed so far. We're 60% through this game. I'm impressed with Walker so far. I would love to see how he tests. I can't wait till we get there. He made Tavondre Sweat test type, right? And still going round two. This may be your opportunity. The Bengals wanted Sweat. I think they would have taken him in round two if he was still there. This may be their chance to rectify that. From the end spot, take on the double team. I like when they all end up on the ground and you don't. So Deone Walker on the left side here. Take on the double team, stay low, right? He's lower than them. Those guys, those two are standing straight up. He's got some angle to him. And both of them end up on the ground. Walker's just looking over them. Again, he holds that double team. He makes the tackle here. This guy is immovable. Inside, he's staying low enough there. Now he's getting high, right? Now you're definitely losing the leverage, but he's not losing ground. Throws that guy off of him, gets the arm out. I talked about this and I can't remember which one it was, but sometimes you got to hold this guy up, and then as the running back hits this hole, can you just stick out one arm and wrap him up with that one arm? You have to be able to do it. And he does there. Drive him back, drive him back, drive him back. He can't disengage here. You would like at some point to be able to disengage. Great tackle by the DB there, number 3. But watch Walker. Yeah, this guy's got a great grip on his pads. And you're probably not, if your arms are like that, you're not going to get called. It's only when you extend and you still have his pads like this, but he's got a great grip right there. That right guard for Ole Miss. And he can't get him off. He can't get him off. At that point, your best bet, because you're inside, if he's got your outside of your pads, your best bet is probably try and drive through him. Easier said than done, especially if you're tall. If he was Geno Atkins, right? That's barely 6'1", if that. You can get your face into their chest plate and really drive through them. Walker just hanging around there. Man, if that receiver would have tracked that one down, we'd have been looking for his name after that route he ran earlier. Goes for the rip move upfield. Gets washed out a little bit. I don't know if you're catching him. All right, let's watch Walker here at the nose. Let me go for the rip to the outside. You kind of have to be really athletic and upfield burst in order to beat this guy and then turn the corner, right? We've talked about that how many times? And Walker really can't there. It's not a clean enough win. He must not have knocked that outside arm down before ripping. He just went with the, can I get off the ball faster than you and rip on the center? Because you can sometimes beat the center off the snap because he's got to get that hand up afterwards. Kentucky's hitting. This must be 17. What did it say? 17, 13? Again, Walker really not giving up any ground, really plugging things up on his side pretty much every time. Reminds me a lot of Tavondre Sweat so far. Walker's got he's got long legs and thinner legs than a guy. Like if there's weight to be added to him, it's in his lower half. What a tackle. What a stick here by the corner. Yeah. Fourth quarter. This game's getting tight. Take on the double team. RPO. You got off coverage out there. You pull that ball off and pull that ball back from the running back. Flip it out. Walker again with good initial strike and leverage initially. He loses the leverage afterwards, But to start, he's giving that center everything he can handle. It's just he loses it afterwards. You're still going to be trying to get him to consistently play lower. And I don't even know if it's possible. Spin move. There we go. Good job. This is when you see D lineman comfortable enough to do a spin move and then still make the tackle, it means his vision is pretty good. And being 6'7", maybe he never really had to worry about bad vision, right? Let me go back. Because it's not like he can see over these linemen. So right now his eyes are inside. And right there, despite it going behind the pole, you could see his head was inside. He's still looking this way. He's getting the double team, so they're trying to wash him inside. And he's going to spin off that and regain his positioning right there. Right? You see him? Again, he's the guy standing straight up. But I need you to make a tackle here. And he does. Those long arms, go gadget, just snatch the running back. Good job. He's stuck with the quarterback here. Sometimes you got to do this, right? They're going to run power with Lamar Jackson and with Josh Allen. We need our vision. He's got great vision on the ball carrier so far. Right there again. Looks outside. Inside, is it the running back handoff? No, it's not. Let me stay with the quarterback. Waiting for that ball. Dart's got to be much quicker with that. I don't know if he's got the strongest arm. That's got to be fast. Got to process fast. 3rd and 11 now. He's got a chance to pass rush Deone Walker. And he ends up with the double team. Was that caught? Number 9's having a good game. So Walker does create initial separation between, I think it's the right guard and the center. Right there. Okay, so he is attacking that. If the center's a right-handed guy, that arm's going to be down. He's got to lift it up in order to get a hand on the lineman, right? Because he's got to snap it and then get that hand up. It is a nice thing if you're a nose or a D tackle over top of the center to attack that arm. Keep that arm down. Pin it down if you can. And then come with the rip or the arm over in order to get this win. So we already see Deone Walker's landing. It looks like he's landing that hand. Let's see if it slips off. But looks like he's landing it and going to keep that right arm down. Now, I don't think he does completely win because that center does a good job turning, anchoring, and anchoring his feet into the ground and getting his face and arms right into the chest of Deone Walker, enough to drive him out of there. But I like the plan from Walker. Minute 49 now left. We're down to the end of this game. See if he can drive these guys. See if he can get a bull rush. I'd love to see him get more of a bull rush. He ends up on the ground there. Oh, my. They just get tripped up. I don't think it's a lack of athleticism there. Trips happen, but you don't want to see his guys just falling because they're not athletic enough to turn the corner or stay on their 2 feet. He's holding the middle ground there, making sure the quarterback doesn't run up the middle. Second and 10. There's a win. Oh, I don't know what happened there. We're going to have to check that one out. Oh, and the quarterback gets sacked. Dart, what are you doing? Get rid of the ball. Walker here. You see it right away going with looks like a club and then arm over. I'm gonna guess it's the arm over. He loves it. So let's see here. Yes. Doesn't really gain the depth. And you got to know where your other rushers are doing too. If this guy's gonna dive inside, especially with the running back picking him up, I need to go all the way out. I'm not saying this is Walker's fault, but I feel like this end just dove inside on his own. And it's going to cause chaos. And now the quarterback's able to run the outside, and really good closing by 13, I want to say. So now it's 3rd and 13 from the 37, and Walker jumps off sides. We got a free play. You don't want that in that situation. Dart, you better throw the ball this time. Oh, you got to be kidding me. And the ball pops out. Only thing Walker can really do, and there he is jumping off, is finish the play and make sure we don't just hang our head and want to crawl into a hole when this happens. Stay with the quarterback. Try and keep him from going too far down the field. All right, 3rd and 9 now. Walker going to go around the outside, keep the quarterback in the pocket. I don't like what Ole Miss has going on here, guys. If you're an Ole Miss fan, I don't like what they're doing so far. It's going to be a 4th and 6 at least, right? Still only gain a few yards here. Let's see. Was that the last play? Deone Walker's not out there? Okay, then. I don't know who won. They probably tried a field goal. Jumping right into Deone Walker versus Florida. This one is longer. It's about a 29-minute film. So we're going to let this one play a little bit more. Now that we know what he looks like, he's wearing the same exact uniform, the all whites. What he looks like, what his moves are, what his issues are, what his strengths are. Now we're just going to let it roll more and talk about him as it rolls. I'm not going to stop it as much. This is a 30-minute film, 29 and some change. So as you see there, he gets tall again, and he's just trying to swipe wildly left and right. That goes along with some of the issues we've seen with him, even though we were definitely impressed by that first game, or I was. I'm not going to speak for you guys, but definitely impressed by that first game. PFF says this is one of his worst games of the season, which he didn't score crazy high for them either way. I'm going to go over some of the numbers right now. He had a 71.2 grade this year, 67.7 versus the run. As a pass rusher, a 75.4. So actually graded in his career much higher as a pass rusher than he has a run defender. Probably a leverage thing, right? Hard to defend the run when you're not going to be a penetrator, right? So you're going to be a two-gapper. You're going to be a guy that ties up two people, a hole plugger. Well, you better play with some leverage to be able to hold your ground. Now, I would say I think he has in that first game, and we're going to see it much more, I think, in this game here. The Florida game, though, he received a 57 overall grade, pass rush of a 60, and a 55 for run defense in this game here. So, let's see it. And I've got some data in the spreadsheet that we put together every year that I want to pull up while this film is going and talk about him a little bit more. But currently, Deone Walker is 51st on the consensus board. He's ended up on the ground here in slow motion. Did you see that one? 51st on the consensus board. So this is more in line with the Bengals' second round pick. Guys will improve. Stocks will go up and down. This is a guy that if he blows up the combine, Dontari Poe style, if you're old enough to remember him, that would be huge for him. He actually looks thin right here. And like I said, it's 6'7". That's probably why. He looks thin in the lower half. Trying to bull rush just through. He is kind of a bull in a china shop, isn't he? But Deone Walker, he is 21. He'll be at the draft. He'll be 21.1. So when you're watching him here, he is 20 years old. This class at the top, we're out of the COVID kids. With a lot of these guys that were 23, 24, potentially even 25, getting those extra years. These guys at the top of the draft are young this year. Mason Graham, 21.7 at the draft. Kenneth Grant, 21.5. Walter Nolan, 21.5. I had people tell me in the chat that Derek Harmon was also a 21-year-old. Tyleek Williams, which we'll get to, 22. Deone Walker, 21.1. So young players. That means you got some upside still. You've got some room to grow and get better. He's just kind of going through the motions a little bit here, isn't he? He kind of did on the first drive of the Ole Miss game as well. Let's see if he can stay low on this one. Yeah, not really. Guys, that's too easy of a block for a guy this big. There we go. There's breaking through the line. We got a nice play here. Let's diagram it. We're only going to do the big ones. All right, Walker right at the nose. No, he's going to move over. Now he's over the guard. Slightly shaded outside. Going to attack that inside arm there and just split the two. So that's getting off the ball faster. Look at it. Look how much further upfield he is. Let's see if we can get it right at the snap and see if that's what it was. No, so far. But you know what? It's just getting straight up. They don't want to block him. Head up. Fine. I mean, that's fighting through multiple linemen for Florida and whoever that was coming across the tight end or whatever. In order to make that tackle for a loss. So that's a good play for Deone Walker. I like the goal line situation, so I'm really going to pay attention on these ones. And he's just sloppily flailing and holding his ground. Stay with it. Quarterback's still looking. Still alive. You got to stay alive. So, big thing for Deone Walker that's going to, and our spreadsheet is probably going to grade really high if he tests well. His market share adjusted production. So, we want to talk about, did he produce for Kentucky's defense? Market share adjusted. Market share means if the whole defensive line had 50 sacks and he had 10 of them, well, that's 1/5, right? What if they only had 20 sacks and he had 8 of them? What if he had 5 of them? What if he had 2 of them? You can see there, and we got to play here. We got to break down. I'll finish this market share adjusted idea here. Deone Walker on this side. Let it play. Okay, stay with the quarterback. We're going to have to do this. We have to do this in the NFL. You got to run with these guys. And he batted that ball in the air. That's what it was. Good job for Deone Walker. Now, let's say, right, 50 sacks and you have 10 of them. You're 1/5. You're putting in 1/5. The defense must have been really good to get 50 sacks. If they only had, there's another good run defending play. If they only had 10 sacks as a defense and you had 2 of them, so someone that has 10 sacks versus 2 sacks, you may say, oh, the 10 sack guy is that much better. And that may be true, but they'd both be 1/5 of their defense. So maybe the defense was just bad. Maybe you just didn't have the talent around you. Maybe you were coached poorly. So market share is your share of the total defense's output. So when you say a market share of production, market share adjusted is what we use. So it accounts for your strength of schedule. It accounts for your age, what age you're doing this at. All to say, before I let this play go, Deone Walker comes out in the 95th percentile. That's great. His production from a market share adjusted level is fantastic. And I bet a lot of it is because he was 21 years old, 20 years old, his final year at Kentucky. So again, we're getting off the ball here. Our arms are fully extended. Those 34.625-inch arms, long. This guy's grasping for anything he can. Look at it. Look at that hand down there. Just, can I get a hand in your chest? Can I get anything here? Can I get some help? No, you're not going to get any help. Walker's going to hold you up, push you to the side, and then grab that running back. That's a great play for Deone Walker. There's a good run defending play, right? So as we go through his PFF profile, which is another part of our grade. I was going to say, that's not Walker on the ground, right? That's 11. Walker's right at the nose. Maybe it is Walker that ends up on the ground here. His jersey's pulled up so high. Double team, triple team. Yeah, he's going to end up on the ground again. His PFF profile. So we take the last 10 years, they've been doing it since 2016. We weight it towards the most recent years. But we see, where would this guy rank in all of these classes since we've been doing this data? And Deone Walker, his pass rush grade is in the 90th percentile of all defensive tackles. That's really good for a big dude like this. His pass rush productivity, 84th percentile. Again, very good. His batting passes, is tipping these balls like we just saw a play ago, 79.7. So let's say 80th percentile. That's really good. He's in the upper echelon of all those guys. Oh, I got a couple more data points to bring up after this play. Walker to the right here between the left guard and the left tackle. 3-tech range, maybe shaded a little bit more inside. He's going to get his chance to go all the way around and end up on the ground. Again, we don't like seeing him on the ground so much. We didn't see it so much in the Ole Miss game. We're getting flashes of it in this one. 3 more data profile points. His pass rush win rate, 94.7, 95th percentile. Dude, that's fantastic for a big dude. He is winning at an incredibly high rate as a pass rusher. His true pass rush grade, 95th percentile. So that correlates. That goes together. And his true pass rush win rate. So what's a true pass rush versus a regular? when you're not running screens, quick passes, play action, rolling pockets, all these things that make it hard to just straight up pass rush. If we just wanted to grade him on, hey, it's 3rd and 7 and this guy's having a 5-step drop, go and pass rush. We took all those plays, which is typically 40 to 50% of your pass rushes. Sometimes even less for these guys, depending on how they're used. Good leverage there out of Deone Walker. Still gets walked out too easily, though. We're just taking the plays where you know it's a pass rush and we're going for it. 96.5 percentile for Deone Walker of all defensive tackles. That's great. If he tests even moderately well, he's probably going to go in the first round. Or you're not going to get him where you're going to pick in round 2. So that's why we're watching him now, to get an idea of, does his potential prospect profile warrant a discussion at the 17th pick? And I think it does. So it's going to be a lot of how he tests, but if he's 6'7", 340, what are we expecting him to test? The tests are size adjusted, so he'll get a big boost that way for sure. All right, back to it. Number 0 here, lined up directly over the left guard. Going to take on the center. We got a rolling pocket. So again, this is a run, but if he ends up throwing it, if that was considered a pass and a pass rush, that would not be considered a true pass set because there's so much more going on there. You don't just get to pin your ears back. But he grades well at both true pass sets and regular passes, so it really doesn't matter. If we had a huge discrepancy, and there's a few prospects in this class that have a huge discrepancy between one or the other. Think of Will McDonald a few years ago, Jets first round pick, only really had a great true pass set grade and win rate. He needed to know you were going to throw the ball, and he was dangerous. Still like that. He's still super dangerous. Good initial strike again and getting underneath the center. I mean, Florida's just, they're not messing with this interior defensive line of Kentucky. They're not trying to run against them. They are so far misdirection. Let's get outside the pocket. Let's get outside the tackle box. He's not as round as T'Vondre Sweat. I know I've used that. He's definitely thinner. He's carrying that weight in a much thinner way. Oh, gets squeezed between 2 linemen. From the nose. Again, I think we have misdirection again. So let's see here. Yeah, everyone's going that way, and we got counter winding it back the other way. There's not much you can do as a nose. You kind of have to flow with the play and attack, especially on 3rd and 1. I think that was they're saying that was first down, unless he was off the field on first down, maybe. Oh, that's not him. That's number 8. Okay. We may have had an arrow on the wrong guy there, or my eyes went the wrong way. Walker on the left side here. So we got 9, 8, and 0. Can be very confusing from a tape perspective from the side. So he's all the way over top of the right tackle, maybe get between the right tackle, right guard. Yep. Yeah, so that wasn't him that I saw. I seen a Lovett at guard for Florida. Now I just seen a Lovett on Kentucky. It looked like a safety. They've got some big boys in there, man, for Kentucky. All right. Walker on the left side here. Get down in your stance, man. He waits a little too long for me. Double team. They pushed him out of there pretty good. Yeah, really good. He's down the field there. That's how you get a negative grade from PFF, if you're wondering. Those are one of the rare times we've seen him actually get moved backwards. Again, he's trying to, because they're running so much misdirection, really nice run. Good power, contact balance. He's trying to win now inside and trying to see if he can win it through the backside. Let's see here. Looks like he goes boop, this way, right? Yeah. And that's like Florida doesn't care. They'll let you go that way because we're trying to run to the right anyways if we can wall you off. If anything, it made this guy stumble and fall because he thought he was going to get some contact from Deone Walker. And what a run. Really, really nice run. Walker ends up on the ground again. That might be 4 or 5 times in this game. Florida's up 13-6. Nothing going on there. And we got a pick. Pick 6 opportunity. It's there. I don't know where the quarterback is throwing it. We do got a chance. I can't wait to see if Walker blocked on this. This is where you can find out if a guy wants to run and do something. He's on the left side here, our left side. Try to keep an eye on him as he ends up over top of the center at the nose spot. I want to see a block. We're going to have to relocate him, aren't we? Yep, we don't get a good view. We don't get a good shot of him. 13-6 somehow. They must have went for it at the goal line situation. Walker clugging, trying to plug it up. He goes to the inside here. This may be an evaluation play. We might give it a second and watch it. And this may be one of the plays where he grades poorly from PFF. They don't have enough guys on the D-line. What is going on here? All right, so Walker right in the middle, obviously. Strike leverage. He's going to get turned a little bit here, and his eyes are betraying him. He's completely I don't know what their goal was here. Again, we got some misdirection, but as aggressive as these linebackers ended up, Florida does a great job here of washing Walker, at least sealing him off right there, and then get the double team coming off and getting this linebacker here. You're creating a nice little lane here for the running back who gets sideways through it. Not so much Walker's fault, but I would like him to make a play there. I'd like him to squeeze that more. It wasn't a real strong double team. They didn't really spend a lot of time on you. And if they'd spent more time on you, the linebacker probably fills that hole. So I need a little bit more disruption. We got a deep ball. Bang. As always in the comments, guys, I do appreciate when you say, hey, that guy you were talking about, that receiver, that quarterback, that running back, that guard, whoever it may be, that was this guy. He's in this draft class. I do appreciate that. It's how we ended up talking about Matt Lee so much last year. And then the Bengals drafted him. So great. Was because of the Braden Fisk tape, remember? And Lee was the only guy to really give him trouble. And here's Braden Fisk leading all defensive rookies with sacks this year. Or, it was all defensive rookies, wasn't it? Because Verse only had like 5, even though he went nuts in the playoff game against the Eagles. Yeah, he's just so high. Again, we're talking about leverage. We had this, though. I believe we were saying this a bunch about Devondre Sweat, about playing high. But the length is there. You can see him walling guys off. The hard part here is I don't know if they've got a penetrator on the D-line to cause enough chaos to slow it down. They're really just... Let's watch Florida's offense here. I want to see this play fully. Yeah, they're blocking that way and running that way on them. It's a bad matchup. It's a lot of misdirection here. You're not getting that running back to hesitate at all. Here we go. Goal line situation. Come on, Walker. Get low. He's on the ground for maybe the 5th time today. And you're supposed to be on goal line situation, so I'm not killing him for it. But he definitely didn't win that. They all just dove inside. All right, Walker, let's see if you can do anything. We need a flash play here. More than just leverage. He got in on the run. He got in on this tackle. Getting up a little slowly. He's on the left side here. A gap between center guard. Let's see if he moves over. No, he's going to stay there. Stay at the nose. They're bringing everyone in tight. Condensed formation. Going to expect the double team here. He gets it. Fight through it. Get a hand on the running back. Keep it to a short gain. That's good play. Despite getting moved out of there a little bit, if they're going to spend so much time on you with two guys, your other players just have to make a play, and that's pretty much how that went. All right, push the – yes, great. Exactly what I was talking about earlier. Sometimes you're going to lose the positioning. Push that lineman into the lane where the running back's trying to go. So watch Walker again. He's at the nose. A gap between left guard center. And as we got a run going to our left here. I think it was a reach block by the center. Yep. So the center is going to try and get all the way around and seal him off that way. Now, Walker, his options here are two things. I can fight this center, throw him down, whatever I can do. Or I can push him, throw him into the lane. We know where the running back wants to go, right? We want to create, if he goes here, the running back may want to squirt there or there. Either way, he's coming between here and here, right? So Walker, if I can't beat you, I can throw you in there. I can drive that center into the lane. Let's see how he handles that. I wouldn't say so much he gets him in there. He mostly holds him at bay. I mean, he is pushing that guy, closing that hole. This guy wins it, though. This guy right here, this DN, he won the play. But the gap that was going to be there was right here, and you can see how tight that got. I mean, there's almost no space. That running back was going to run into the backs of those two guys, probably no matter what. And Walker gets involved on the play and finishes it off. Still second quarter, 22 seconds. You would think they're throwing the ball. Let's see if we can get a pass rush. They are not throwing the ball. They're running this thing. Misdirection again. Good tackle, 10. Double team. Got a little movement on him. I will probably, depending on how he tests, come back and watch Deone Walker at some point. But after these 1.5 games here, I think he's an easy evaluation. And I'm not saying I'll take him at 17 based off these 1.5 games. But he's definitely a prospect I would like to have and take a shot on. He's still young. I think there's definitely some maturity and some, you can light that fire under him and get him going more often. But you can't teach the size, power, and he lands his hands. And he wins as a pass rusher. Not so much in this game. He's definitely, we wanted to watch one of his worst games to get a full feel for it. But he's bending that center backwards. Is that the center or the right guard? He's bending that right guard backwards pretty well there with just long arms and power and holding these guys up. So he's definitely a nose tackle, two gapper. That at the very least, could he be a DJ Reader pass rusher? For sure. And that's the low bar. But could he be a Dexter Lawrence pass rusher or Chris Jones pass rusher? And Chris Jones on a nose tackle. He plays all along the D-line. I'm not so sure yet. Maybe a Dexter Lawrence. Maybe. Let's see how he tests. Does he test like a freak? And then that's really going to push him into that first round discussion. See, nice little swim move there. Tackle for a loss. Hey, Deone Walker. They stop hitting you with that misdirection. You can actually do something here. Lined up at the nose. Last guy down as usual with him. Right away. Right away with the arm over, right? Loves the swim move. Get back inside. Hey, this is our first chance to talk about this from defensive tackles this draft season. I need any move I do, because this is your area. Any move you do, whether it's here, whether you jump in the air, spin and land and do a 360 on your feet, whatever you do, a lot of times you have to get back into the same spot. Yeah, further upfield, but you got to get back here. A lot of guys will win and end up upfield, or down the line. I need you to get back into this general area, or else you're going to leave a huge gap. Right? If you're a home run or strikeout type defensive tackle, do you guys remember Tank Johnson played for the Bengals? He was a home run or strikeout. He would beat his guy and then leave a huge gap behind him that running backs would run through. So I need you to get back to that positioning after you beat your guy. So here he is. You beat your guy, you're to the side. You see the big gap? I need you to get back to that spot to close that gap and be in position. And he does. You see how, look, who is replaced now? He is replaced where the guard is. He is replaced where the defensive tackle is. So they've swapped positions. This is a great play by Deone Walker. He's had a few. In a not so great game, PFF says this isn't a great game for him. We've got the few flashes that we need. He's tired. Hanging his head. He'd fit right in with Orlando Brown and Amarius Mims, though, body-wise, size-wise. Get those guys off the bus right away. Mims, Brown, Walker. The Ravens would take him and love him, huh? You're probably only using him for 35 to 40% of your snaps. Probably less snaps than he played in college. A lot of times he was tired. You see, that's why they ended up down the field. He's now back. He's got some juice back in him. Oh, what a juke. Is that a touchdown? It is not a touchdown. What a juke by the quarterback, huh? Let's watch this again. Oh, he's looking to the sideline. They're trying to get, is he saying C gap? You want me going? Where does he want him going? They're trying to look for the play. Woo-hoo-hoo-hoo. Yikes. Yeah, he did not score, did he? So we've got 1,800 snaps for Deone Walker in 3 years at Kentucky. 535, 728, and 540 total snaps each year. About 600 snaps on average. That's a lot. I don't think he would play 600. And maybe you can get him there eventually, but as a rookie in second year, probably looking at 400 to 500, and then maybe 600 if he's a dominant player in year 3 by the time he's 24 years old. So you may not see him be as tired and looking out of shape and out of breath as often as he does here. Because I don't know if you'd have to see what kind of pass rusher he could be. I know he won a lot as it in college, and I would like to have a big nose, a big body that could rush the passer because it's such a rare thing to have. You could conceivably defend the run because you've got the size on the field rather than having 4 defensive ends out there. Not that the Bengals do that, but some teams do, and the Bengals have, but it's not a common thing. Clearly, you can get run on in those situations. But you get a big guy like that out there, like the Giants can actually defend the run from the nickel because Dexter Lawrence is such a freak. And if the Bengals play a 4-3 under Al Golden, do they need a nose as much as they did before? Probably not. All right, we've got a whole pile up on the quarterback here. Let's see if Deone Walker gets involved. Despite looking like the only guy not involved at the end there. He's at the nose, going all the way over. No, right over top of the guard. Goes inside the center. He does his job because he's keeping the quarterback in the pocket, and everyone else closes on it. 34-20, fourth quarter, 5 minutes remaining. Take on the double team. Yeah, there's a little leverage strike on 53. Deone Walker. Let's see here. Let's watch this one. Where's 53? Oh, he's the right guard. Does he end up moving over? Walker's waiting to get told what to do, maybe? Is that why he's so late to get down? That might be it. All right, let's see here. Double team center, right guard. Going to hold that pretty well, get underneath the right guard, not really give up any ground at all. He's at the nose, taking on the double team. Doesn't give up too much again to 53. Love it. That's love it at 53. So he's at the nose. Take on the center and the guard. Not give up much ground again. They're attacking. They know they're running the ball here. They're up by 14. They're trying to drain the clock. We got a third down situation now. Let's see if we can win one more time as a pass rusher. Not really. We've got so much. Got a deep ball here. I wonder if he caught it. Does he catch it? Wow. Goes out of screen for us, but I could see the way the sideline was reacting. Walker's just trying to, sometimes you just slant everyone and try and just cause chaos in the middle of the. Oh, the corner was late to see it. Now the clock's pretty much going to roll. He's at the nose again. Oh, they run right up his gap again. He couldn't disengage and get his hands off. This looks like this is on him. We're going to get a good angle from behind here. Walker right at the middle, right at the nose. He's looking for direction here. So he just bypasses the center and goes right to the guard. Meanwhile, number 2, which is why I only question that, because 2 jumps right this way. So is this guy going to have a clean shot to go get him, and we're just going to go right up the middle? Is that what happens here? And then we pull this guy over. We got misdirection to take 2 out of there. They're walling everything. I need Walker, despite dealing with the double team here. It's your job at this point to keep going down that line towards the running back or get an arm out. It's not an easy task, but it is the task, and we need him to win. All right, we're going to get a goal line situation probably to end this review here. See if we can play low from the 1-yard line. He's already down on all fours. 4-point stance. Oh, the double team puts him 4 yards into the end zone. I don't like that. Not a way to end this film and end this game for Deone Walker. I see why. There's a couple of runs here that went right up his lane. Not saying this one was, but there was a couple here in this game that I could see why PFF graded pretty negatively. And even in situations like this, you're just getting too high. You're getting too high. We can't give up that much ground at the goal line. So that's Deone Walker, defensive tackle, nose tackle from Kentucky, the gigantic man that actually has some pass rush winning. That's different than Kenneth Grant, right? We watched Kenneth Grant last week. Didn't have the pass rush profile. Walker actually does. We have to see how that turns out when we get the athletic testing, because Walker is probably on the cusp of being a first-round pick. I think with that size, people are going to be enamored with him. And I don't just mean us as fans. I mean NFL teams as well. So it's up to him to test well and do that other part. As of now, I would probably put like an 80 grade, which is like a fringe first-round pick based on the tape. A fringe first-round pick that maybe the data can push him above that. The data could also push him below that and say, wait till round 2 for someone like that. We'll have to see. Let's see how it goes. We've got until mid-February, I think late February, third week of February, whatever that is, for the scouting combine where we'll get the athletic testing and get an idea. Then we have pro days and all that. So this process is a process, and it takes time. And we will get there. Thank you for joining me on Bengals on the Brain, presented by First Star Logistics. Until next time. Uday.
Hey, Dave Lapham here. While games are over for the season, there's no off-season for the First Star Media Group or First Star Logistics. Join me in the trenches and Joe Goodberry of Bengals on the Brain here on the First Star Media Group YouTube channel. First Star Logistics gave away great prizes during the season, which will continue with exclusive content and special giveaways during the off-season. So please subscribe to the channel and hit the like button to help us continue to grow the channel.